Alrighty, this is Unit 2 discussion, project life cycle, and organization and instructional design. My name is Clarice.
My name is Aaron.
And I am Isaac.
Alrighty. Okay. So we started really just looking at the 5 phases of project management first and just familiarized ourselves with the phases and different aspects of that. And one thing I noticed, what I think we all noticed, was that they pattern in all of the 5 phases of project management and the instructional design process all are kind of similar. And so I know we all did a bunch of researching and stuff online and just chose a few that stood out to us. I chose the pure waterfall model just because pure waterfall, the name stood out to me. And they all of the models that I saw online seemed to all kind of be fairly similar with just circumstantial differences. This model has, similar steps where you analyze the different requirements you need. This one I saw that was like more geared towards software design. So there was a lot of coding talk in this one, but again, it was like system design, implementation phase, testing phase, and where you like actually do it, and then like a maintenance phase, which is like similar to the other ones that we saw, the 5 phases of management and instructional design process. The next one, iterative life cycle.
Yeah, I really like this one a lot. I think part of what appeals to me on this one is it works a lot like the way I think through things. It's the way my brain works. You plan, you take a look at your requirements and analyze your requirements, then you do your design work, then you do a build, then you test it and see how that goes. You evaluate that, and then you go through that whole cycle again, and you keep doing that until you get to the final product that you think is ready to actually go out and release to the public. So that's the way my brain works. This idea of design, test, design, test, design, test, until you get exactly what you want really appeals to me and the way I think.
I can talk about the Agile model a little bit. It's similar to they're iterative in some ways. Actually, they're all pretty similar. You're investigating the issue, designing, doing your implementation, and then testing it to see how it works, and then doing maintenance. The thing that makes Agile model a little bit different is that it is a cycle. It comes back around, so it's not an ending project. You're continually trying to improve it. It's more like ADDIE than it is like the PMI.
And this is all the references from where we got all the information. But I did notice one thing that was different from my waterfall method. I noticed when I was reading it, this one, you can't move to the next phase unless you're done with the first one. And I know a lot of these ones too, like it's kind of like changeable, and you can go back and forth. But I thought it was interesting that like my waterfall one, I think that can make it kind of hard too, because I know that whenever I'm like working on projects and stuff, I have to go back and forth between things and put things down and come back later and kind of do that. So that method might have been limited.
It could be limiting, but at the same time, it can be freeing. If you've got project deadlines and you can set a timeline on it, that actually could help you out quite a bit.
Yeah. And I think a lot depends on what kind of project you're working on as well. You know, the specific process you might use may be different from one project to the next project, depending
Right.
on what it is.
Yeah,
Right.
as far as software development, it kind of makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
You definitely want to break it down, modularize it, and get parts done so that you can get them tested out and move on to the next
Right.
step.
Right.
Right. That makes sense. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Let's see. Anything you guys want to add?
Can't really think of a whole lot at the moment.
Yeah.
Right. No, that's really just it. I mean, like you said, everything was all fairly similar. That was like the main um, thing there is that, I mean, the main point I got from it all really just out of my research was everything has to have a step. You have to, you have to have a process in order for things to be successful. And
Yeah. Well, there is one thing. If you go back to Addy for a sec, that Addy keeps going round and round. It can be drug on forever. Whereas the PMI, you have a definite beginning and end,
mm-hmm,
Right.
right,
which I think would be a lot more useful in a lot of cases. I've heard situations of people using Addy where the projects just drug on forever, just because they've kept finding problems and fixing them, and then they'd go through and find another one and another one.
right,
If you don't have a stopping point, it'll kill your timeline completely. It'll just
right,
your project's going to go stale.
right.
Yeah.
Most definitely. I benefit from things like that.
Okay, well, I
Thanks.
appreciate
Until
it.
next time.
Yeah.
All right.